Thank you, Chairman.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dan Sadler from Equinor Low Carbon Solutions team, and I was the former H21 Programme Director. I'm going to just set a bit of context, so I'll just put energy in context for people, which maybe is relevant to this session about the amount of energy we need. And then I'm just going to talk about the challenges in terms of the at-scale hydrogen market. So in terms of context, if you look at this graph, we're very parochial when we talk about energy, but this is actually a graph of energy use historically. So the graph you can see at the top, I don't think there's a thing on this, but you can see the light brown, that's wood, which was the historic energy backbone of the world. And it looks like wood's been phased out over time, but actually that's just total percentage energy. If you look at the graph on the bottom, that's how energy's grown over time. And what you can see is that we've not actually phased wood out yet at all. What we've done is we've added different energy vectors to support the world's growing demand for energy. And you can see that the bar on the top is renewables. That's critically important, but from a global perspective, renewables so far is taking up growth. It's not really displacing too much. This is a bit more of a domestic chart, which often people think is UK specific. If you looked in Melbourne, it's exactly the same. And you can see electric there, which is the red bar, about 20% of net energy. The blue bar, which is almost exclusively gas, is heat, with this huge interseasonal swing. And then the grey line is transport, not just cars, but haulage, buses, heavy haulage, planes, trains, automobiles, almost exclusively oil. So the aim is to displace all of that. And currently, we're doing well with wind, as we've just heard in the last session. Equinor build wind farms, for those who aren't aware, but we need a much bigger solution, and quickly. The other point to mention is why hydrogen becomes important is the storage that gas provides. So in Europe, it provides 1,500 terawatt hours of interseasonal storage every year. To put that into context, it's not that batteries aren't good, but they don't do what gas does. So that's the equivalent to 11.6 million of Australia's mega batteries, or 20 billion Tesla car batteries. And hydrogen can provide us the same storage. It has the same physical properties. So the challenge for the hydrogen market is how do you produce hydrogen at scale? So unlike the renewable market, which was easier to a degree because it had instant access to a market, it could trade electrons into an electric grid. The hydrogen market doesn't have that access. So what we have to do is create a backbone based on scale, which then can go to a guaranteed end user in terms of demand, and then facilitate more and more green hydrogen over time. So the way we create that backbone is to use blue hydrogen, which is gigawatt scale. Around the world, we've added between 3.5 and 7.5 gigawatts of hydrogen every year for the last 50 years, based on a hydrogen reformation of natural gas. And you can go to transport, power generation, as you'll hear from Jenny later, heat, or industry. And what we need to do to start the hydrogen market off is we need to go to the technically secure, credible industries in the first place to create that backbone. And finally, a little plug, but it's also a relevant point, is that it's not just about the decarbonisation benefits provided by hydrogen, but it's also about the economic benefits to the UK. And we'll be releasing a series of 4 reports in the next few weeks called the High Impact Series. And one is on the GVA benefit of the onset of the hydrogen economy, and ranging from, if you just do industrial clusters, to a kind of global leader position, you're talking in the region of 43,000 to 220,000 jobs over the next 30 to 40 years. So that's the size of the prize. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.